Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2024 album review. And as you can see below the title, today we're going to be talking about the new album from the band Darkest Hour entitled Perpetual Terminal, which is out now through MNRK Heavy Records. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Darkest Hour, they're a metal band based out of Washington, D.C., been around since 1995, so almost 30 years. And Darkest Hour, for me, they're a pretty interesting band. Like, a lot of people pigeonhole them as, or kind of describe them as melodic death metal, but also hints of, like, metalcore, too. I feel like they're kind of like a mixture of the two genres. They definitely hint more on the mellow death side, but they're definitely one of the best bands ever, and pretty underrated in my opinion. And they've putting out 10 albums, such as classic albums such as Deliver Us, Undoing Ruin, Eternal Return, and this is overall the band's 10th full-length album, and this follows up their previous album, which came out back in 2017, Godless Prophets and the Migrant Flora. And it's been about almost 6 years since we've heard any new Darkest Hour. But this live up or exceed what Godless Prophets and the Migrant Flora has? I honestly think so. I think Perpetual Terminal definitely is worth the 6-year wait for some new Darkest Hour music. I think the band really has evolved since then. The production on here is great. Everything is where it needs to be. Let's just talk about like the vocal work from John Henry. Being at the helm, one of the original members of the band, his vocals have really improved since being in the band. Like, his growls have gotten a lot heavier and powerful, and his singing is just amazing and all that stuff. The guitar work on here is tight from Mike Schilbaum, and of course first album with the new lead guitarist Nico Santora. Both of them come with some really sick riffs, and just the leads on here are great. The bass on here is, I wish was a little bit audible, from Aaron Deal. He comes up with some sick bass lines. And the drumming from Travis Orban. In my honest opinion, I think he's a really sick drummer. And so, without further ado, probably rambled on for about 2.5 minutes. Let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is the title track, Perpetual Terminal. Now, right from the get-go, this song comes across a bit nastier, and I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's pretty different than the last album, so you pretty much know that you're sort of like, I guess, in a new era of Darkest Hour. And I think it's a really good way to start off the album, set the whole mood for the album. Then we get into Societal Bile, probably butchered that. Now this song is just raging. That brings back some, I guess, a little bit of the metalcore elements to the forefront, and the melodies also are in the background, while the riffing brings the brutality, which is just a monster of a song. I think is a really, really good song. A Prayer to the Holy Death, another great song, and I really love the chorus on here. It's very anthemic right here, and so far we're only 3 songs in, and this is a bare parallel in the world. I don't know, it's just a really great song. It just has very catchy too. Next song on the album is called The Nihilist Undone. Now this song just reminds me of like that classic Swedish melodic death metal, like Dark Tranquillity, Soilwork, and At the Gate. Hey, it's with sort of like a very staccato kind of riff, which is just, I don't know, just makes it very unique sounding. One with the Void is up next. Now this song is probably the most atmospheric song on the album, and it also represents sort of like the band's passion for heavy riffing, but also keeping sort of like the atmospheric kind of vibe from like beginning to end. I thought it was really good. And then we get to Amor Fati, which is sort of a little interlude piece, which kind of gets a break from the album, but doesn't like take away from anything. It's pretty much is just to give so the listener a chance to breathe before going into the next song, Love is Fear. Now this song is a frenzy of a song, has some really sick adrenaline that just hits hard and leaves nothing but fury. And this song is just has a really sick level of aggression that comes from playing this sort of material, from being in a band for almost 30 years, which is just ridiculous. Moving on to New Utopian Dream. Now this song is another heavy hitter of a song. It also has some really sick grooves before cutting into like the melodic end of the chorus, and I think it's a really good song. Mausoleum and is the next song. Now this song starts off with a clean acoustic opening that just, I think, really just gives calm and very soothing, but then just builds up over time and it just develops into something heavier. And I think it's a really great song, sort of like sets sort of like a different vibe from it, but doesn't like take away from the overall experience so far with the album. Next song on the album is called My Only Regret. Now, My Only Regret, I guess, is the most kind of experimental song that Darkest Hour has, in my opinion. And this song has a bit of a punky vibe to it, kind of different than what we've heard so far on the album. And then we close things out with Goddess of War, Give Me Something to Die For, which is, I think, is a great moment of the album. It's a 6-minute long song, and it pretty much combines everything that we've heard so far on this album. It starts off really calm and peaceful with the acoustic guitar, kind of similar to Mausoleum, and then the songs develop a heavier side without losing the dramatic vibe. And then the second half of it, it almost has that kind of like metalcore aspect, kind of similar to Social Bite, and has the also melodic twist and adds like an extra thrill that adds to the song, and it pretty much ends the album right then and there. Now, overall, Perpetual Terminal, another great addition to Darkest Hour's discography, and I'm glad that these guys are back with new music. So if I give this album a score, I'm going to give Perpetual Terminal by Darkest Hour a solid 9 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of the new Darkest Hour, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.